In qualifying one, we had a very good time and we were 2.479 seconds ahead of the closest competitor of Verstappen in second place. I then, of course, took all 3 purple sectors and by a clear margin in each one. After the session, I kept first place, but Verstappen lost second place to Russell. He became 2.400 seconds behind me. Qualifying 2 was slightly worse than qualifying 1, as I still had P1, but Leclerc in second place was only 2.397 seconds behind me. But I kept all 3 purple seconds again, by a clear margin. After the session, Max came back and took second, leading his teammate in third, 2.181 seconds behind me. Qualifying 3, however, I picked up some more speed and created a 2.814 second gap to Perez in second place, with all 3 purple sectors once again. After the session, the proper front runners came back and reduced their gap to me in first. Leclerc took second, 2.305 seconds behind me. Like I quickly mentioned at Bahrain, no sprint races, so it was annoying on my side. Sorry, but it means no rain can ruin my sprint. Let's hope that if it rains, I get revenge on water and my braking ability, and win the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix.
You join us here in Imola as we prepare for what will undoubtedly be a magnificent day of racing. It's time, of course, for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. 3.1 miles of track at Imola featuring 19 turns, 9 to the right and 10 to the left. Remember that Imola differs from most other Formula One tracks as it's taken anti-clockwise. Let's hope nobody forgets that today. The exit from turn 18 will probably be the setup for many of today's overtakes, leading as it does into the longest straight on the circuit and its only DRS zone. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. A fantastic effort from Esteban Ocon yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Russell, Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, and Norris, Hamilton, Perez, Fernando Alonso, and Kevin Magnussen, Gasly, Joe, Sebastian Vettel, and Stroll, Latifi, Bottas, Daniel Ricciardo, and Mick Schumacher, Albon, and Yuki Tsunoda. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
Right, hopefully you heard that. Here we are on the grid then, as we click onto the strategy menu, see if we can do the medium hard. As always, changing to the right, it's slower than a 2-stop, so it looks like we're going to have to go for that. However, if we go medium soft, what does that look like? 6.1, 6.3, 3.9, go left, right, 6.4, 6.45, that's the best we can get. Yes. Is it quicker? Slightly. I'm going to choose it. No, because I decided to be a little bit stupid on this one. I think last race, Australia, no. Which race was it that I decided to follow the 2-stop? I think it was one of the previous ones, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's going to end now. Right. Not waste any time, let's go straight to it. setting myself up perfectly for the start. Too bad the mediums compared to the softs weren't so good. Lost out to Charles straight away, and then George and Max got me as well. Science almost got me. He did try go round up my outside of turn 1, but I kind of forced him out for turn 2. Still gave him room though, of course, but he backed out. So I was 4th after starting first, but kind of expected from previous races. Science was on the mediums. You would have seen my strategy before the race began. Medium hards. You would have also seen that medium soft was quicker. I did contemplate doing that at the beginning of the race, but as soon as the race started, I was like, nope. Doing medium hards. I did check. I think only me, Science, and Alonso were the only 3 in the top 10 to start mediums. Not sure about the bottom 10. At the top 14. Not sure about the bottom 6. I can check after the race. Anyway, end of lap 1, we stayed P4. Everyone was still within DRS range for when it gets activated at the end of this lap. Max a little bit far back from Russell, so into turn 1 I tried going around his outside. Broke a bit early, allowed Max to take the corner, but he took the corner and the gravel. Went very deep into turn 1 and literally just handed me P3, which was very nice of him. He didn't have to. And as there's not much highlights, I can show you on board. So yeah, pulled towards the outside. I saw that he's going towards the middle, so I kind of just let him. Braked at 75. Didn't expect Max to go deep. Didn't expect Max to brake any later, so I thought I was going to have to touch around the outside. And then saw him go deep and lock up, so I was like, thank you very much. You've just been played. Are you sure you're Max Verstappen? On board, Max. See, he moves a little bit more to the left, but heading into the brake zone. Yeah, just no composure whatsoever, and just allows me to take P3. Thank you very much. Next up, of course, then, is George Russell. And it took me a lap or 2 to actually catch up to him. Lap 4 was my first attempt at overtaking, and towards the outside I went, no, never mind, I wasn't close enough to try and attempt. So I had to wait. And I knew that this was actually now going to be difficult. Did tighten his line into turn 5, turn 6, backed out a bit, gave myself some space, went down to the inside of the hairpin, and he just decided to turn in on me. Absolutely no regard for where I am on the circuit, and gave me side pod and underbody damage. Although I'm pretty sure the underbody is just the side pod. I can check very quickly. But yeah, it was very inconsiderate from him. I'm already there now. Go down the inside, alongside, and then you can see that I just get hit. I know previously I've been bad for turning in to the corner, trying to dive someone when I'm nowhere near them. But this time, that was fully on George. George should have seen. Yeah, George saw it coming. We'll see from his onboard in a minute. Because he tightened his own line, I just backed out, gave myself a lot of speed. See, there it looked like I dived in very late on. But we're already into the corner. I'm as far left as I can go. I'm alongside going in. That is George's fault. But I'll just check back in case. Yep. Alongside. Boom. And are you turning? Okay, slightly. But I've made the corner. I'm alongside and he's still turning in. Okay, if he's not using his mirrors, he can't see me until about there. But he still turns in. I know there's not much time between me appearing and him making contact, but I still think that's his fault. He had time to react to me. He knew I was alongside. And floor diffuser and side pod damage is the 3 damage types at the back of the car. So underbody is either the floor or the side pod. Anyway, lap 5. Easy overtake for Charles. He has no DRS, I just go round the outside. But he did the exact same as Max, and I played him to an absolute T. Little bit of contact there. I didn't realise I was so close to him. And surprisingly, that's a warning for Charles, not me. Interesting. Lap 8. I think this is Lewis's lap. Can't remember yeah, I remember now. Sector 3. I've just put the lap numbers, that's probably a bad idea. Yep, there he goes. There she goes. I don't know what that was. Yep, retirement from Lewis, dropping from P5, handing Sainz, Perez, Norris, Guan Yu Zhou, Vettel and Bottas some points. I'm not sure who this next lap's for, but I can guess. Yeah, because it was... The race director said it was for contact with Norris, warning for contact with Perez. Let's see. Locks up. Yep. Why is that a warning for Norris? It's the exact same thing as what Charles has got a warning. Charles got a warning for. You don't need a warning for that. How is that already on the next lap? Right, I can't cut on this lap, I don't know where though. Thank you, Nicholas. Yeah, just making sure. Surprising, because I cut quite a lot during practice. First 3 laps of practice were invalidated. Now it doesn't really matter in practice because there is no practice programs to do in Grand Prix mode. But I just make up my own practice programs. And technically they're useless but I just use them to get used to all 3 tyres, because I will be using all 3 tyres. Mainly the medium and hard, but I'm still using them. Anyway, lap 28, as you would know, my pit stop lap. Yeah, not really much else to say about it. Fairly solid stint. Compared to my target lap time, only 1 lap was slower than the target lap time, and 2 laps were quicker. I only know that because it was so little. But E-I-E-I-O, into the pit lane we must go. Everyone else has already made their stop, including the ones that had already started on the medium. So you can see Sainz is down in P5 again, and Fernando in 12th. Pit stop release was really good. Also, again, a purple turn-in. Green grid slot, by the way. I wonder if that time's actually correct. Let me into photo mode. 15. I'm pretty sure that did not say 340. Where was it? Why is it so slow? Let me go. It's right there. I don't know. Yeah, that's not 340. That is 210. I wonder if it changed. Yeah, no, it doesn't change. Okay. Useless. But yeah, starting our second stint. Broke a little bit early for turn 1, made sure that we didn't run wide into gravel. Because at the moment I've made no mistakes. I'm not counting that one with George. George, I'm alongside mate, so you should have given the room. It's annoying because was I alongside early enough for him to notice me? Surely I was. Anyway, lap 60 was the next warning. Only my second warning in the race. 5th overall in the weekend. Okay, this normally is a tricky corner for me. Normally I cut a lot more. I'm just going to check the damage. Poof. Jeez, George. Okay, wow. What is it with you in contact? To be fair, that was his. Anyway, lap 62, the rain started falling. So, lap 63, the final lap, came my only mistake of the race. Going into turn 1, I'm just going a bit wide. Recovery bet much quicker than the AI's recovery, but yeah. Grouchy did enough himself, but it was fairly quickly that he got blue flags and we overtook him. Everyone was on mediums, so it was in me lapping him, he let Sainz go. Everyone was on mediums, so it was fairly grippy for them, whereas me on hards. Not worn hards, by the way. Lap times were the exact same as mediums in the first stint, so it wasn't like they were wearing out. but come across the line to win the Emilia Grand Prix. Was there much doubt? Not really. Was it a bit questionable? Maybe. But it don't matter, because 1, I'm 1 minute ahead of Max, and 2, George is 26 seconds ahead of Charles. So it don't matter if any of us get a penalty. Right, here we are. Thank you, Mark, for that. Yeah, I just do that for fun. Only mistake this race, just touching the grass on the entry into the chicane, and so obviously braking performance was not so good. Not quite getting revenge on braking ability within the what do you call it? The rain. Well, I'm just going to end that now, because 1 minute, we'll go to the end of Sector 2. I'm having to record this a little bit differently, so yeah. I haven't got the time really. Alfa Romeo finally lets us back ahead, but yeah, not quite getting revenge on rain, but we're still going to win. The race was done on 15th of January and the script done 20 days later on the... Well, it's not going to be the 35th. 22, 29, that's 14. On the 4th of February. Yes. And the voicing is done on the 7th of February. Yes, yeah, that's right. The red slot was a near perfect purple slot with the front right on the yellow line with an angle heading in the best direction towards turn 1 and turn 2. The start was poor. Yes, I had mediums versus the front runners softs, but that can not account for losing 3 positions into turn 1 and having to go side by side with Sainz on mediums into turn 2. Max was a must-get high priority in these early laps, and our chance came heading into turn 2 on lap 2. A move to the outside, let Max go deep, switch back, and up into P2 I went. There's a slight bit of space on the apex of turn 3, so I could have given a little bit more space, but no contact, so it was fine. George Russell was of course up next, and lap 4 I got him with a run out of turn 3. So he defended turn 5, and so he dropped so much speed that heading into turn 7. He dropped so much speed heading to turn 7. So I took the opportunity and dive bombed him into the hairpin, and we got P2, but with an asterisk with contact. I kept as tight as I could to the apex, but George turned it in and we hit. I decided to call it a racing incident, as I was not alongside rear axle, front axle, before Russell started turning in. However, even when we made contact, Russell kept turning in on me. Lap 5, an overtake on Charles Leclerc was quick, with almost a copycat move from Verstappen, but with a slight bit of contact after, as it left too little space on the apex of turn 3, like I warned earlier. Lap 8 was next with a point of view from Lewis as his engine gave way and he retired from the race. Then on lap 19, Norris was battling with Perez and went deep during a Verstappen and Leclerc. And so when he was trying to get back on the racing line, Perez did a me and left no space on the apex of turn 3. To be fair, by my rules, Norris was not alongside enough to be warranted space, but Perez should have been more careful. He could have been hit wide. Lap 27, we're next up with a track extension at turn 15. Lap 28 was then our pit lap from the mediums onto hards, and so we came in to serve our one stop. Slowed more than we needed, but a purple turn-in and a quick release meant we were clear ahead of the AI, even though they already pit and were 40 seconds behind me. I then spent a minute or two complaining about the clock being very incorrect and not ever changing. I was able to do so because I was so clean that I had to go to lap 60 to find my second track extension warning, turn 9, the fast left-hander after the hairpin. Lap 63, then after rain began falling at the end of the race, had my first and only mistake of the race when I went deep into turn 2 and ran across the gravel. But this affected me very little, and we came at the end of lap to win the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. But this affected me very little. I understand. I've learned English myself. Why am I making the grammatical mistakes? I only made a mistake because I drifted wide onto the curb and grass and dirtied my tyres, and so I had less grip. I really have nothing to talk about with this Grand Prix. This Grand Prix was a solid, clean one. Only that little mistake at the end, but that weren't even because of the rain. So, yeah, not really anything to talk about there. Hope you enjoyed it. I don't know why I'm saying any of this. I don't really care about any of this. I'm just going to end it now. Bye.